NFL season is right around the corner, and I was talking to my bosses that I would love to go live for the preseason games. There's 3 of them. They got the first one on August 8th versus the Panthers, then the Eagles, then the Commanders. But they said they have to hear from you guys. If you want us to go live for the preseason games and for all the games this Patriots season, go on ahead and hit that sub button. Bosses said we have to get 25 new subscribers on this video if I want to go live. Is the Mathew Judon trade right around the corner? Why? Because an NFL analyst actually is predicting the Chicago Bears may be making a call to the Patriots front office asking for Matthew Judon. I have a feeling this is not going to be the only franchise that will make a call for Mathew Judon, especially with what has been rising over the last few days. It's getting messier, it's getting more dramatic, and it looks like bridges are being burned between Mathew Judon and the New England Patriots. Just to paint a picture here, because this went downhill pretty fast. Last week, he was dressed in shells. He was participating, not 100%, but he definitely wasn't just standing around. Then comes Monday, right after Jabril Peppers gets his extension. Judon shows up to practice without pads. This is the first day of practice with pads. Then he has a heated discussion with Jerod Mayo and Eliot Wolf. He walks out of practice and doesn't return. On Tuesday, he is nowhere to be found, not in the facility, not on the field. But I found that the heated discussion, I saw videos all over Twitter, and it looked like Mayo had the upper hand in this discussion. It looked like, and I'm just speculating here from what I saw, that Jerod Mayo said, practice or get the hell off my field, which is what should have been said a long time ago with Mathew Judon, who has respectively voiced his emotions and his opinions on what he feels he's valued, but it's been dragging on for a little bit too long. And now it feels like the end game has to be a trade, because I don't see the Patriots coming to terms with Judon anytime soon. And here's what Mike Giardi had to say about the contract situation in New England, saying, Judon said all the right things less than a week ago. He admitted not getting a contract extension or a raise bothered him, but he signed the deal and said he would honor it. That changed late Monday morning. And from what I gather from talking to league sources, Judon's frustration bubbled over because the two sides remain far, far, far apart on any modifications to the deal. Far, far, far apart. The only ever time I've seen 3 fars when you're talking about Shrek, and it's far, far, far away. This is bridges being burned. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Judon's walking off the field. A leader, a 31-year-old veteran, is walking off the field. Jerod Mayo, in his first year as a Patriots head coach, let this bubble way too long, and now it's looking like Judon wants nothing to do with the New England Patriots, which is not what you wanted at all in this situation. And now it's gotten to a point where you're looking at a veteran and you're looking at a first-year coach. And what I'm seeing from these conversations is that it's a full-blown pissing match between these two guys. It is trying to show you who has the upper hand, who has the superiority, who has the authority in the New England Patriots front office. It needs to be the head coach. But now Judon, who has remained pretty civil, despite some tweets out there and speculations, he's remained pretty civil. But he said last week, I'm going to play. And now he's not practicing. You don't practice, you don't play. It's that simple. There's no way Mathew Judon is doing this with Bill Belichick. There can't be. It has to be he's trying to get the upper hand over a first-year coach who's maybe just trying to let things just fade away on their own, but that's not how this is. It's very emotional at this point when it never needed to be emotional. It's a business. Mathew Judon needs to realize he's old in NFL terms. Mathew Judon needs to realize they're rebuilding, and he may not be a part of that rebuilding. But Mathew Judon wants to stay in New England. He wants to retire there. He wants to play. He loves the fans. He has a family. So now he's starting to put his emotions into it, saying, why don't they want me? Why is everybody else getting paid but me? And I get it. I'd be frustrated too, just like you would at your own job that you make $5 million less than Mathew Judon. But it's now way too emotional, and the business side is just getting out of control. And Mathew Judon even spoke about his feelings the other day on a podcast talking about, I don't want to be the villain. I don't want to be the bad guy. But it's like, shit, help me out. We got the most cap in the league right now, bro. And then with that, they don't even get the money. So what the hell are y'all doing with it? Y'all literally are just not using it. Those guys have a tough decision. It's hard to know who to give the money to. But he wrote out his own contract and sent it to them. They just didn't respond yet. I don't do most of the talking to them, but that one thing I did do. To have Mathew Judon literally write out the contract of what he thinks he's worth, obviously the Patriots do not agree with that value because they have not extended him yet. Well, we got an update from Diana Rossini that's kind of leaning towards things are going to get better. Diana tweeted out that Matthew Judon was absent from yesterday's practice because he seeks a revised contract. That we already knew. But since then, the Patriots have made an offer per a source. This looks like the Patriots are now realizing what Judon is worth. They're putting their foot down, and it looks like things are getting back on track. Wrong. Matthew Judon confirmed this is a lie. What is going on? Honestly, what source told Diana that an offer was made, and then Judon himself tweets back 7 minutes later says, no, they have not reached out with a new deal, but it makes me look bad. Again, don't believe the lies. I'm taking Judon's word on this. It's looking like the Patriots just don't want to keep him around, which is making me believe Matthew Judon is not going to want to stick around either. Can the Patriots have a top defense without Matthew Judon, without his leadership, without his QB pressures, pass deflections, sacks, and anything else that comes with how dominant he's been at the edge rush position? You look back, obviously 4 sacks through 4 games, which is tough because he got injured. The last 2 seasons he's played with the Patriots, he has been stellar. 15.5 sacks, 12.5 sacks. I mean, if he didn't get injured last year, everything was trending for him to have another double-digit sack season. Not to mention 2 forced fumbles, 14 tackles for loss, 60 tackles. He has been dominant. And it's a domino effect with how Judon plays his part. You can't have the secondary be as dominant if Matthew Judon is not putting pressure on the quarterback. You can't have the 3-4 front be able to explode if Matthew Judon doesn't do his part. And when I'm looking at the sacks specifically, you're taking away a big chunk of the sacks that the Patriots do produce in a season. This was last year. Christian Barmore stepped up 8.5 sacks. He led the team. Jawan Bentley, a linebacker, at 4.5. Same with Dietrich Wise Jr. Well, Matthew Judon, who played 4 games, was right there at number 4 with 4 sacks in total for the season. So you can see how intimidating and how intense Matthew Judon plays when he faces quarterbacks. Now you've got no Judon, and now you have an injured Christian Barmore. Where do the sacks go? Where does the quarterback pressures go? That's what makes me very nervous. You can't have Christian Gonzalez and Jonathan Jones and Kyle Duggar and Jabril Peppers be as dominant in the secondary without that quarterback pressure, which means you're going to have to find it from other players. Thankfully, second-year player Keon White is stepping up. He's taking that responsibility. But now you've got nose tackle Devon Godchild. You're not sure if he's going to play because he's also in this contract dilemma. So then you have an injured Christian Barmore. The defense is falling apart before the season started because you're dealing with emotions, business, and injuries. And it's not looking like a hot start for Gerard Mayo for his first year. So now the Patriots have 3 decisions they can make. Number 3, you can extend him, which is the least likely option in my opinion. I think we're past that. I think Judon's pissed now, and the front office is pissed with how he's acting. So now you've got a dilemma. Number 2, you could trade him. This seems like the obvious choice because you can still get something for 31-year-old Matthew Judon rather than holding on to him and having no trade assets with him as he gets older. The most likely option for the Patriots to do right now is a salary tweak. Give him more money for a short time. Not an extension, but just pay him more with what he's worth. Right now, he's making $7.5 million, and he's the 27th highest paid edge rusher in the NFL. So with those 3 decisions, with 1 being the most likely, 3 being the least likely. Go on ahead and pick one. Type extend if you want him to be in the Patriots franchise for a lot more years to come. Trade him, you want him up and out, get something for him, or give him a raise. Just pay him more money this next upcoming year so that he performs and helps the Patriots in a rebuild year. But like I said at the beginning of the show, we do have a possible trade situation lingering over the Patriots' heads with the Chicago Bears. I'm going to unpack that in just a moment, but I want to make sure if you guys are looking to go to any sporting event, any concert, any game, go on ahead and download Game Time right now. If you download the Game Time app and create an account and use promo code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, you're going to get $20 off your first ticket purchase while terms do apply. And when you're buying a ticket from Game Time, it's unlike any other way to get tickets. You get last-minute deals, and I'm a procrastinator. So that's great. I can get better deals standing outside the stadium with Game Time. Plus, you get some views from the seats. So if you guys want to go check out Boston Red Sox playing right now in the dog days of summer, I highly suggest going to see them next week when the Houston Astros are in town. And if you guys want to know where you'll be sitting, if you're more of an outfield, first baseline, third baseline, maybe even behind home plate, well, they're going to show you exactly what you're going to be seeing so you can see how close you are to the action. I love Fenway. Some of my best MLB memories are at Fenway. Unfortunately, for you guys, I'm a Yankees fan. But I do love this rivalry through and through. Before you come at me, I'm a huge Derek Jeter fan. So when I went to Fenway, I wanted to see Derek Jeter play in person. And I honestly wish back when I was 12 years old, I had an iPhone and I could have used Game Time because I probably could have saved my parents a little bit of money. So going ahead right now, New England Patriots tickets, go check them out. Just download the app, create an account, use promo code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off your first purchase while terms do apply. Are the New England Patriots trading Matthew Judon to the Chicago Bears? Chicago Bears are the latest team that seem to be interested in what's going on in New England, and I have a feeling if the Patriots are open to it, there will be several more teams that call the front office asking for the top edge rusher. But here's why. Alber Breer talked about why the Chicago Bears should call right now. And he said, if I were the Bears, I would pick up the phone and call about Judon. Here's the thing about the Judon situation. I look at him in New England, and they paid Christian Barmore. They paid a lot of other guys who aren't as good as he is, and he'll make $7.5 million this year. I don't know how far they're going to have to go to make him happy, but I don't think it's $1 million or $2 million. I think it's way more than that. So I would at least fish around that if I were the Bears, I think Judon would be a really good fit for Matt Eberflus and his defense. Well, first things first, any franchise that calls the Patriots is going to have the same exact dilemma the Patriots are having right now. Do we extend a 31-year-old going on 32 years old coming off a bicep injury for the next 3 or 4 years? I don't know if the Bears want to do that either. Do they have the cap space to take on Matthew Judon? Absolutely. But so do the Patriots. It's not about whether you want Judon. Everybody wants Judon. He's phenomenal. But he's old. He's old coming off an injury. That's where every team is going to have to weigh the pros and cons. So I don't know if Matthew Judon is going to get what he wants in any franchise right now, being as old as he is. Because no one wants a Von Miller situation. That was a terrible contract, and I highly doubt anybody's going to repeat that mistake. So if you were to trade Matthew Judon away, here's what you could possibly get to the New England Patriots. A 2025 fifth-round pick. I highly doubt you're getting any higher than a fifth-round pick for Matthew Judon at this point. But I tagged on offensive tackle Larry Borom. I think that could help you in your offensive line struggles, add a little depth as well. He's the second-string left tackle right now for the Chicago Bears. Might as well help him out with Caden Wallace, a rookie on the left side, or even help out Okorafor, who's your weak spot on the right side right now at that tackle position. I like this. I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of fed up with the Matthew Judon stuff. It's a distraction. I love Judon. He's a menace on defense, but it might be over. So with that being said, that's just my opinion. If you guys have more feelings about Judon, feel free to let me know. But how do you feel about this deal? Type A for accept, type D for decline. If you hate everything, let me know. If you love everything, let me know. But all you have to do is subscribe. Go on ahead, subscribe today. That way we can get 25 new subscribers and we can go live on August 8th for Patriots versus Panthers first NFL preseason game.